Friday is one of the most difficult days of the Christian year because it is a day when we remember what happened about 2,000 years ago. In a period of 12 hours, a man who had been praised and glorified for performing miracles of different kinds was betrayed, beaten, despised, and killed by a form of capital punishment which was declared inhumane. Crucifixion was the most disgraceful form of execution. It was reserved only for slaves, foreigners, revolutionaries, and violent criminals. The only time a Roman citizen was ever crucified was for desertion from the army. It was about killing somebody in a really horrible way. Someone who was crucified suffered the maximum amount of pain as it is dying by means of exhaustion and asphyxiation. Yet Jesus came into the world not to share about death. But Jesus came, and we read that and we've heard it, that Jesus came so that people might have life and have it more abundantly. This is difficult to comprehend on this day when we remember his death. Yet the prophets who lived a long time before Jesus was born foretold of the one who would come to bring life and to do so out of his own death. The prophets wrote about the king who would be, that he would come and save his people. The Savior was to be a descendant of King David and be born in Bethlehem. The one who would come just before him, John the Baptist, would announce his coming and would prepare their people by teaching them and baptizing them and having them open their hearts and spirits to the one who would follow. The prophet Isaiah states that even though he had many followers, the one who was to come would be rejected by his own people. The psalmist wrote that a friend would betray him. And the price of this betrayal is accredited to another prophet, Zechariah. Another psalmist wrote that he was not to have any broken bones at the time of his execution. And this became evident after his death. In order to speed up the death of those being crucified along with Jesus, often legs and knees of the person was broken. So when they were doing this to the thieves who were hung at the same time, and then they came to Jesus, Jesus was already dead. Why did Jesus come? He lived to die, rejected and alone. He stood silently before Pilate. And why did Jesus stand alone to face the sentence of crucifixion? Jesus knew his purpose was to save his people. He knew that he would die and in 3 days rise again, because he had taught his disciples this several times. But what he had to endure in those last 12 hours of life was extreme agony. In the insert in your worship bulletin today, I found this display that you have. And it talks and describes by the scripture passages of the four Gospels about the things that Jesus endured in those last 12 hours. Hours of agony. And he suffered because and for us. He did this because he would carry the burden of the sins of all people in the world upon him. Maybe that was why he became so weak. He could not carry the cross alone. He became the way by which we as Christians believe are forgiven and reconciled with God. This is why he came, so that we can be forgiven and draw closer to God. And because of his death, we have faith beyond our own dying and death. We have faith beyond our own earthly existence because Christ conquered death, rising to new life. Jesus' words were limited during the hours he suffered from flogging and humiliation, betrayal, abandonment, and rejection. Those who had promised to never leave him were those that hid for their own safety. Those who had called him the Messiah and witnessed many miracles of healing and feeding the thousands became afraid, so they had associated him. And after his death, one believer, a wealthy man, offered Jesus a new tomb, offering his place of burial, so that Jesus' mother, Mary, and Mary Magdalene knew where Jesus' body would be, so that they could go and mourn, have a place of grieving. And so these women, Mary and Mary Magdalene, and Joseph and Mary of Arimathea, prepared Jesus' body for burial. They placed his body in the tomb, and as they walked away from the tomb where Jesus' body lay in state, they wept and they mourned, not knowing fully what would happen next. The tomb was sealed by a large rock, and Roman soldiers were guarding it in case someone wanted to steal Jesus' body and claim he had risen. And they mourned, and they grieved, and they wept. The one who had promised to save them from sin and bring reconciliation, from having the opportunity to be taught a new way of living so they would not be any longer oppressed. The one who had offered to them an opportunity to have their burdens lifted. The one who had offered them hope was now dead. And for them, all hope was gone. So what occurred for the next 24 to 36 hours was a time of waiting, grieving, hiding, and discerning their futures. When they all gathered together, they didn't know what to do. They questioned why they followed the one who was now dead. Some of them went fishing to think and do something productive. Some just stayed hidden and prayed and tried to remember all that Jesus taught. For didn't he say that he would rise again? Didn't he say the temple would be rebuilt in 3 days? Didn't he say he would save others from sin? And didn't Jesus say he had to die to save others and rise again to offer hope and reconciliation? As we remember Jesus' arrest, trial, and crucifixion this day, let us also take time in the in-between times to wait, to grieve, to discern our future and our future relationship with Christ Jesus. For in these in-between times, we can take and look at that cross, a tool for death, but brings hope to all who believe. Let's take time and reflect and pray as the Spirit of God leads us to remember Christ, crucified for our sake. Let us pray. God of love, hear our prayer for hope, for reconciliation, and of love offered to you as we remember Jesus' agony, pain, and suffering on the cross for our sake. Hear our prayers offered in silence. Amen. Let us